Hey everybody, it's Michelle. I have been reading Junie B books past few days, and today I'm going to read a different book called Hocus Pocus Hotel, and it is called The Wizard and the Wormhole. The Hocus Pocus Hotel has secrets around every corner. Brack is missing, and he never even left the Abracadabra Hotel. Tyler Yu and Charlie Hitchcock have plenty of experience solving mysteries at the old hotel, but this mystery trumps them all when Ty goes missing too. Then the evil magician Theophilus threatens to take over the Abracadabra Hotel if Brack isn't back in time to pay his monthly mortgage. Can Charlie find Brack and Ty before all their lives are changed forever? Okay. Chapter 1. Double emergency. It was raining by the time Charlie and Ty reached the Abracadabra Hotel in an old section of downtown Blackstone. The ancient building, known to its residents as the Hocus Pocus Hotel, but officially named for its founder, Abracadabra, raised its towers toward the dark, churning clouds. When the boys walked through the glass double doors, they passed from rain, gloom, and thunder to bright lights, laughter, and excited voices. The vast lobby was stuffed with people. "What's going on?" asked Charlie. "Is it a party?" "Tyler!" yelled a voice. The boys saw a young girl elbowing her way through the crowd. It was Annie Solo, who worked at the front desk. "Tyler," she said, "I'm so glad to see you. You got my text?" "Text?" Ty said, frowning. "I don't have a phone. You must have had the wrong number." "I beeped you too," Annie said. "Annie, you know I can't have my beeper at school," Tyler said. So here is Ty and Charlie and Annie. Okay. Charlie guessed that Tyler had probably been ignoring the girls' messages. Annie made it no secret that she had a crush on Tyler. Ty, however, felt very differently. He grabbed Charlie by the collar and started using him as a human plow to push through the crowd. "Sorry, but I'm in the middle of an emergency here," said Ty. "I'll say," said Annie, following closely. "This afternoon's the Friday special preview, and the tech guy never showed up for it. And I knew that you've worked the light booth before, so—" "What are you talking about?" Annie asked Charlie. It was hard for him to hear her while being shoved between men wearing suits and women in long gowns that glittered like plastic wrap. "The magic show preview," she said. "The preview of David Dragonstone before tonight's big show. He goes on in half an hour, but we don't have anyone to run the lights for the stage." "Annie," said Tyler, without stopping or looking back, "I can't right now." "But you're not in school," Annie pointed out. "And neither are you," Tyler shot back. "I'm in a work program, remember?" said Annie. "Everyone's saying Friday afternoon. What's your excuse?" "Emergency," said Tyler. "And besides, you told me to come." "Because your mother asked me to," Annie said. "And if she finds out that you left school but not to help me, then—" Tyler's mother, Miranda Yu, was the hotel manager for the Abracadabra. His dad, Walter Yu, was the head chef of the hotel restaurant, the Top Hat. Although Charlie had met them only briefly, he knew that they were deadly serious about work. He often wondered if any one of the Yus ever smiled. Tyler stopped. The three of them had to squeeze a path through the crowd and stood near the row of elevators. Ty's shoulders slumped, and he looked down at his boots. "Okay, fine," he said. "I'll run the lights for the afternoon show, but I better get paid for it." He turned to Charlie. "You go up to Brack's place and search for clues. Find out where he went in the hotel." "You said he was missing," said Charlie. "Yeah, but he never left the hotel," Ty told him. "How do you know that?" Charlie asked. "Surveillance cameras," said Tyler. "So that's what you were looking at in the office last night?" asked Annie. Tyler ignored her. "There are cameras all over the lobby," he told Charlie. "See?" Charlie followed Ty's pointed finger and noticed small gold-colored gadgets attached to the lobby's pillars. "We can see anyone going out or coming in through the hotel doors," said Ty. "There are more cameras at the loading dock and the alley, but Brack wasn't on any of them. He has to be somewhere in the building." Unless he found a magic way out, thought Charlie. Brack was supposed to be at Dragonstone's rehearsal last night, but he never showed up, chimed in Annie. Clues on the carpet. The spring shower had grown into a raging thunderstorm. Wind and rain whipped fiercely around the tall downtown buildings as Charlie ran from the shelter of the elevator toward Brack's home. The magician's house was perched on the rooftop of the old hotel. It was surrounded by an empty flower garden and leafless trees that stuck out of cement pots like upside-down claws scratching the air. When Charlie reached the front door and grasped the knob, he was cold and soaked with rain. I'm so stupid, thought Charlie. I should have asked Annie for a key to get into Brack's place. Now what am I going to do? Charlie shivered and tried the knob. The door was unlocked. Cautiously, he stepped inside. The hall light was on. Brack! He called. As he stepped forward, rain puddled on the carpet around his shoes. Charlie dropped his backpack on the floor and yelled again, Brack! There was no answer. Charlie felt odd looking through his friend's house while he was gone, as if he were breaking the law or something. But he knew he had to do it. He had to search for clues. Like the empty cup on the table in a small sitting room. That was the only other room in Brack's apartment where the lights were on. The room was full of magical props from hundreds of stage shows. The walls were covered with colorful old-fashioned posters, but the empty cup seemed to be out of place to Charlie. He picked it up and sniffed it. Yuck! Coffee. He hated the taste and smell of coffee. Come to think of it, so did Brack. So why was it there? For a guest? Why are the lights on? He wondered. Annie said Brack never showed up at the magic show rehearsal last night. Brack must have been here, and then he disappeared before morning. Charlie noticed a table nearby that held leather-bound books and more magic props. In the middle of the table were two items that snagged his attention. He made one last quick tour of the house to make sure the windows and other doors were locked. There was no way in or out except through the front door. Charlie stood his hand on the doorknob, looking out at the fierce storm. Brack must have been in a hurry when he left, thought Charlie. Otherwise, he would have locked his door. Or maybe he realized he was hurrying to the rehearsal and he just forgot. Charlie frowned. Nothing in Brack's house seemed to be a real clue. The magician might have been visiting with an old friend who liked coffee. Maybe he'd been working on a new magic trick that involved carpets and flowers, and then he'd ran down to the rehearsal. Nothing unusual. Charlie picked up his backpack and froze. On the damp carpet lay an object he had not seen before. It had been hidden by his pack. He squatted down and picked it up. A clump of hair. Fake red hair. And here's Charlie leaning down, picking up some hair. And it's red and fake. Alright. Chapter 3. The Dragonstone Disappearance. You find anything? Asked Ty when Charlie got back downstairs. Charlie nodded. Yeah, he said, reaching into his backpack. Wait till you see. Tyler, yelled Annie. It's about to start. The three of them were standing inside the booth that controlled the lighting for the Abracadabra Theater. The booth was on the rear wall of the theater opposite the stage and high above the audience. Charlie could see the top of 500 heads facing the stage and waiting for the entrance of David Dragonstone. Here goes, said Ty, sliding a lever on the huge control panel. Bright lights lit up the stage and a roar of applause shook the walls. David Dragonstone, tall, thin, with piercing eyes, walked out onto the stage and waved. That guy's the magician? Asked Ty. He looks like a kid. He has red hair, thought Charlie. The boys and Annie watched the entire show, which lasted an hour. Tyler kept busy reading the light cues from sheets on a clipboard. Then came the final trick of the performance. On the stage far below, bathed in a brilliant light, several assistants strapped Dragonstone into a straitjacket. A chain was wrapped around his ankles. Then a hook was attached to the chain, and the young red-headed magician was hoisted into the air. The audience gasped. Dragonstone rose higher and higher. He came to rest 30 feet above the stage, upside down. Then, without warning, a strange man climbed onto the stage. The stranger wore a flowing black robe. He had dark hair that hung to his shoulders and a black mustache and pointed beard. Ladies and gentlemen, said the man in a commanding voice, behold the amazing Dragonstone in his final act of the evening. He gestured to the young magician twisting high above him. Dragonstone has amazed audiences throughout the world. It is my humble duty and great pleasure as the Wizard Deville to announce this final feat of illusion and legerdemain. Here is the older magician, and there is Dragonstone hanging upside down. Ledger what? Asked Ty. It means trickery, said Annie, like a trick that a magician can do with his hands. Dragonstone can't use his hands, strapped in that jacket, thought Charlie. There's no way out of it. Behold, cried the wizard, and tremble with fear. The hook holding David Dragonstone snapped open. The magician plunged headfirst, still straitjacketed, toward the stage, 30 feet below. The straitjacket hit the stage, but instead of a thud, it hardly made a sound. The Wizard Deville ran over to the lifeless form. He lifted it up easily with one hand. It was only the straitjacket, and it was empty. Dragonstone had fallen toward the stage, but he never reached it. The red-headed magician had disappeared. Dragonstone has disappeared, shouted Deville. A member of the audience began clapping, then another, and soon everyone in the audience was cheering and applauding. What a trick, said Annie. But who is that guy? Said Ty. The magician named Deville bugged Charlie, too. Something wasn't right. Now 2 magicians were missing? Chapter 5. The Glass Keyhole. Deville, his eyes flashing above his dark mustache, raised his gloved hands to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, you have witnessed the power of Monsieur Dragonstone to disappear in mid-air. But where, I ask you, has he gone? The audience grew still. People who were standing sat back down. But what about the booth? Said Annie. Nothing to it, said Ty. Lights on, lights off. Besides, the projector button will stay on through the rest of the trick. But what if... I've got to make sure Hitchcock doesn't get into any trouble, said Ty. He's too puny to take care of himself. The 2 boys rushed out of the light booth and reached the lobby elevators. Deville and Joey were already gone. Puny, huh? Asked Charlie. Get in the elevator, said Ty. Ping! When the elevator doors slid open on the 12th floor, the boys slipped out. Down there, said Tyler. At the end of the hall, Deville and Joey were turning a corner. The boys rushed up to join them. Joey heard footsteps, turned around, his camera facing them. Great, thought Charlie. Now the whole audience can see us. Deville stopped when he saw the newcomers. He drew up his shoulders and addressed the camera with great dignity. Excellent. We have been joined by 2 new witnesses. Complete strangers, I assure you. They shall convince you, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, that what you see from your seats is absolutely real. After a few more turns through the maze-like hallways, Deville came to a sudden stop. This is it, he said, and gestured to Joey. Take a picture of that doorway. What the heck is that? Asked Joey. Have you ever seen that before? Charlie whispered to Ty. The taller boy nodded. I avoid it when I come up here, he said. There's no way to get through it. The door was something that could only be seen in a hotel built by magicians. It was made of glass and led into another dim hallway that could be clearly seen on the other side. But no one could enter the hallway because the door was more of a window than a door. It did not open. There were no hinges. In the exact center of the glass door was a small opening shaped like a keyhole. Deville's gleaming eyes shot at Tyler. Since you work here, young man, then you must know that there is no way through this glass door. Joey swung the camera up at the tall boy. And here is Deville with all the boys. Okay, now we've read up to about midway of chapter 5, and tomorrow we will read the second half and a few more chapters. All right, this is Hocus Pocus Hotel, The Wizard, and the Wormhole. All right, bye till next time.